Hello, this is Bullet, aka the Passive Aggressive Sherpa. In today's video, I just need to rant a minute about PvP in Destiny 2, because the complaining that is going on is getting out of control. I have said it before, and I'll say it again. People that play Destiny 2 for the PvP alone are some of the whiniest fucking people to have ever existed. I mean that. Like, of all the people that have ever existed, these folks are never going to be fucking happy. You can go back 300,000 years to northern fucking Africa and Morocco, where the remains of our oldest known ancestors were found. People that lived before the invention of the fucking wheel, and they didn't complain as much as PvPers in Destiny 2. It's obviously got problems, but it's always had problems from day one. But you know what? Bungie has not stopped trying to fix it. They keep making changes based on every whiny little bastard's comments. And these people are never fucking happy. They will never be fucking happy. There will always be weapons that are broke. Armor that's broke. If it's not a broke weapon or armor, it's a particular grind that's too hard or it's too easy. If it's not that, then it's skill-based matchmaking. If not that, it's something else. It's always something else with Destiny 2 PvPers. They'll never be happy. They will never accept that at least 75% of the problems they think they have is actually with their gameplay. I know all of these things because I used to complain about the state of PvP, though I definitely do not play Destiny for PvP. I mean, it's a science fantasy game, and you're there just to play PvP. I don't get it. Anyways, I do play it a fair amount. I have almost all the weapons that needed to be grinded for, except for Revoker. I'm like 102 kills away from that, and I don't have the new, I think it's a linear fusion rifle, the Komodo or Kokomo or whatever the fuck that is. I don't have it yet. But I did all these grinds alone, and I did half of them before the solo queue was even a thing. You see, going on that long grind for Luna's Howl taught me a lot. It fundamentally changed the way I play the game. I put that quest off for a couple of seasons, and a couple of reasons. One, I hated comp in Destiny. To me, it was a joke. I refused to play it for the longest time, but I got tired of being two-shotted from across the map by Luna's Howl, so I worked my ass off to get it. Also, I really sucked with hand cannons. I never used them, so it was difficult. Couldn't get kills to save my life, and my KD went to shit because of it. But as I neared the end of the kills portion of the Luna's quest, I realized that I was in fact starting to get kills with a hand cannon. In some games, I was even doing okay. Not great. I mean, there were games, there was a game I remember I had one kill. That's it, the entire game, one hand cannon kill. It was embarrassing. But by the end of the quest, I was doing pretty decent. I took a break after I got it. It was like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and I went back in for the not forgotten grind. There was now a solo queue available, and it was awesome. I got it all done in about a week, as I recall. I learned to adapt my gameplay. I became pretty good with the gun I used to suck with, and along the way I started to realize it didn't matter what guns others were using. I could adapt my playstyle to whatever weapons the other team had. Now I load in with Bygones and Not Forgotten, usually, and between those two I'm usually covered for whatever comes my way. Sometimes I go right after the other team. Actually, I go right after the other team all the time. I want to see what they got. I have never, and I mean never, looked at what the other team is playing with before the match starts. I just don't look, because it just doesn't matter. Some people have good guns and can't use them. All it does is psych you out. It gives you a false sense of security. A few seasons ago, I got invited to play with this clan. These guys had all the good weapons, and before every single match, they were calling out what the other team had. This is back when I sucked with hand cannons. I played with them for about 2 hours one night. In that time, we lost almost every match. I went from like 1100 or so in comp back down to 250. I was fucking furious. And it wasn't that these guys sucked. I was usually the worst person on the team, but match after match, they kept trying to overthink everybody's gear. I remember them laughing at one team. Most of them had very amateurish looking loadouts, and that team beat the living shit out of us because a good player can dominate with whatever weapon you hand them. Anyways, my point here is that if you have to play the player, not the weapon. Sure, the weapon has something to do with it, but it's how the player uses it that matters. Are they camping with it? Are they always running at you with it? If they're sniping, are they camping in the back trying to pick you off all the time? Or are they doing more of like a running around and quick scoping kind of thing? Play the player. Don't let the player play you. Now, I'm sure this is going to piss off a lot of PvP players because they tend to always tell me that they know best. But to me, it always looks like the only thing they're really great at is making excuses. I know there are some amazing players out there that also complain. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying if they spent more time trying to figure out their opponents instead of the game, they'd be much happier and much better at the game. I mean, you can always get better. Anyways, that's my rant. I look forward to hearing from all the PvPers in the comment sections defending their whiny selves by making even more excuses and further proving my point. And that's about it for this video. If you made it to the end, thanks. And if you haven't already, maybe hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It's always appreciated. And if we can get 1,187 likes on this video, that'd be great. But most of all, thanks for watching. But subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Now, please enjoy the rest of the gameplay footage, what one of my friends on Twitter calls Chipmunk Salad.
Like the hunters of old. That's two. Captured Zone A. You have the advantage. Press on. Now your lead is even greater. But it's not over. Zone B captured. Another hunt will come soon.
Hunters. The Iron Lords had those. We called them people with guns.
Zone C captured. Zone advantage is yours. Opponent claims Zone B. Zone A lost. They're staggering. Don't let up. Zone B captured. 2 zones are yours. I'm calling it. You are victorious.